Boom! Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's stream. That's the worst intro I've ever done in my entire 6 years of being a YouTuber / streamer. But we are here in Football Manager, once I've pressed the button. We are here in Football Manager. I'm having to be boring tonight, I'm afraid. Tried the music last time out, thought it was really entertaining, and then spent the next 2 weeks sorting out copyright strikes on all of the videos. I mean, technically it's not copyright because I haven't monetized them, but it's still not great. So that was a bit of a pain. But yeah, we are here in Football Manager. We are playing as Hatfield. We've got some squad updates that have happened. We've had to say goodbye to some players. We've said hello to some new players. I've brought in some youth players. Let's talk about the outs. So I said after the first season, if anyone left, that's it, they're gone. And not long after I said that, Parsons left. He's joined King's Lynn. There was one. Maybe not, actually. No. I thought there was one who left. I think it might have been Jones again who left just before the switchover. So I managed to haul him back just in time. But yeah, Parsons has left. He's gone to King's Lynn. King has left. He's gone to Tame. Robinson has left. He's gone to Merthyr Town. Caruthers has left. He's gone to Coggers Hall. And we've sort of replaced them. That's the wrong button. Oh, and the game's going incredibly slowly. We've sort of replaced them in that Douglas Pringle is slotted back into defence. I am going to have to train him. Actually, he's not a bad ball player. I'm going to try and train him as a ball-playing centre. Ball-playing defender. Cool. Cartwright's been out injured, which hasn't helped. So's O'Brien's. We've had to play Barton, the youth keeper, in goal. Although we have signed this guy, Mackenzie Lyle. So I'm going to swap these two over. We've still got Dinsmore up front. Still got Wilson, Johnston, Drewson, McGregor, McConnor, Jones, Doyle, Douglas Pringle, and Ming. Everyone else who was here at the beginning has unfortunately left, apart from Cartwright, who I said is injured, and O'Brien, who's also injured, and Galliford's there as well, just to make up the numbers, I suppose. Right, match plan. This is match plan 1, correct? So we're currently on M4J1, and this is set up as M4J1. Yes, cool. Evening, Josh. How are you doing? So our first game of the season is an FA Cup extra preliminary round qualifier. I think it is the full official name, against Frimley Green. And then we dive straight from that into our home league match against London Tigers. I just went very quiet then. That was very unprofessional. I can't type and talk at the same time, so if I'm typing to someone, I just don't talk. Otherwise, I end up saying what I'm typing, and no one wants to hear that. Cartwright opts to stay. Grant opts to stay. Good. Wilson has also chosen to stay, mainly because no other club in the world can afford their wages at this level. Awesome. Apprenticeships for the win. Very good way to make money. I mean, I say that if it's a paid apprenticeship, of course. If it's an unpaid apprenticeship, then experience, I suppose. What I found when I was doing engineering, there was this weird thing, because it's sort of started as, I would say it as a joke. And then the more I actually looked into it, the more it turned out to be true. But when I was in my second year of mechanical, and we were looking at possible placement years, I kept saying that it looked as though all the companies were looking for people with experience in order for them to be taken on board as an apprentice for a year and then get experience. And that's exactly what it was. The more I looked into it, the more I saw. So I won't name companies, of course, but there were certain companies. One was an aircraft manufacturer, and one was a car manufacturer. And they both said on the application must have 2 years prior experience. And this was for a placement year. It wasn't just an apprenticeship in general. It specifically said university placement year must have 2 years experience. Where between school, college and university am I supposed to have gotten 2 years of engineering experience from? I don't know. And this isn't like do some stuff in a workshop at uni, you've now got a year's worth of experience. This is, they expected me to have worked in a workshop or in a factory or whatever it might have been for 2 years prior. Absolutely mental. Is it the Network Rail apprenticeship? Because I nearly went for that myself at the time. That's a good one. That is a good one. You have to move away for a year, or at least you did when I was looking at it. But yeah, that is a good one. When's the for Northern? Okay, that's even better because that's where you are. I'm really doing a bad job of hosting this tonight. I've got people messaging me, I've got people in the chat, and I'm trying to be a professional, and it just doesn't work. I've really got to stop worrying about it and just go with the flow, nicely with the flow. The Network Rail one, I think, was down in Portsmouth, or just outside Portsmouth. It was, and you have to live there for a year, do classes, work on the railways. It's a really, really good apprenticeship, but it sort of came at the wrong time for me, unfortunately. But yeah, that sounds good. All apprenticeships are good, let's be honest. Apart from the ones that ask for 2 years experience when you haven't got any. They're rubbish. We're going to play some football. That was what I was going to ask you, Josh. When is Harrogate's playoff final? They did get through to the final, didn't they? I have to remove my foot from my mouth if they haven't. Am I going to go with this lineup? I suppose so. It's a cup game after all. This team are probably way better than me anyway, so we'll do it. That was something else I was going to say very quickly. The yeah, Portsmouth. I mean, it's a long way to travel for me, and I live just north of London. The music from last stream, they got the copyright strike. One of which, it was a song called Glow, I think it was, or Go, or Flow, something like that. That song, whatever was in it, and I don't remember there being anything specifically bad in the content that we played, but that song got my video banned worldwide, so I had to remove that very, very fast. Fortunately, it's a song that hasn't, a video that hasn't been published yet, so I think it should be fine. Harrogate versus Brackley kicks off at 3 on Sunday. Okay, cool. Good luck to them. Good luck to Harrogate. Hope to see them get promoted. Harrogate and Salford getting promoted is a good thing, because then they're just a league below Stevenage. So you never know, we might bump into each other in just over a year's time. I take it the Premier League finishes tomorrow then. It'd be really stupid to play the playoff final on the same day as the Premier League finishes, particularly if it's at 3 PM. Is it at Wembley, the final? I think you said it was, didn't you? Don't like Wembley anymore. I actually kind of want the FA to sell it. I just feel like Spurs have tainted it now. They've ruined everything that Wembley stands for by playing there for the season. It's a strong opinion, I know, but it's mine. Alright, that is on key. Good. I'm going to switch this to... I'm going to try sideline. Is that the right thing? Yeah. And this camera is direct. Good. The camera angle suddenly dropped when I selected it. If Stevenage get relegated. Well, you're in the National League North at the moment, aren't you? So if you win promotion this season, you'll be in the National League. Stevenage are in League 2. So if you get promoted again, because Stevenage will not be getting relegated, thank you very much, then we'll be playing in the same league in just over a year's time. we score. No, Wilson's through though. I'm looking at my phone. I'm so sorry. As I said, I think it might have been in the last stream actually that I did. I've been offered a job opportunity when I graduate, which is really, really exciting. So I'm always talking to the guy who's offered me the job about it. I'm supposed to be doing it. Well, actually, I won't say any more than that. Let's put it that way. I won't say any more than that. But it's very exciting. I really hope it works and goes through. Doyle is an idiot. He's just giving the ball away in a really stupid area. And the keeper's forced a mistake. Good, good. You would have thought it would be played at a neutral venue, but the playoff final was being played. Yeah. I know as you go down the leagues, they do start playing. I guess it's because of crowds. Like they play it in a stadium where they feel like they're going to sell more tickets, I suppose. Like, especially up in the north of England, for you all to come down to Wembley is quite a trek. Plus the price of tickets, plus if there's strikes or anything on, it's an absolute nightmare. Wembley, believe it or not, is not the easiest stadium to get to by train. Or it is if you happen to live on the Chiltern Main Line. That was an own goal, wasn't it? Yeah, McConnor. If you live on the Chiltern Main Line, the station is right outside the door, essentially. You actually walk over the railway to get into the stadium, up Wembley Way. If you go on the West Coast Main Line, it's like a 10-minute walk. And if you go on the overground, sorry, not overground, underground, it's about 10 minutes on the other side. Not the best stadium to get to. But yeah, I guess it's because they want to hold it in a smaller venue so that they'll have more chance of actually selling out the stadium and won't have empty seats everywhere. That's my theory. Right, Cities in Motion is up and seems to be doing fairly well. People are saying nice things. Yep, Wembley Stadium's on the Chiltern Main Line. That's the one right outside the stadium. Wembley Central is on the West Coast Main Line and the Watford DC line. And that one is actually in the centre of Wembley, the place, rather than Wembley, the stadium. Which is why it's a bit of a trek. You have to walk up the High Street and round over the Chiltern Main Line, which is how I know it's there, and then into the stadium. And really it's only good if you're on the north side of the stadium, I think it is. If you sit on the south side of the stadium, you're on totally the wrong side, whichever way you come in, to be honest. And then Wembley Park is on the Metropolitan and Jubilee, and is on the opposite side of the stadium. Kind of, if you think of Wembley where the arch is, and you're on the side of the stadium where the arch is. Oh, Dinsmore. On the right hand side is the Chiltern station and the way down towards Wembley Central, and then the left hand side is the way towards the Jubilee and Metropolitan, and also the studios where X Factor and Britain's Got Talent used to be. Little fact, because I went there a long time ago now to see the pilot for Amazing Grace, which promised so much and yet delivered so little. Alright, 1-0 down at half time. I'm going to start paying attention to the stream a bit more now. I'm one of these people, if someone messages me, I hate leaving them waiting, so I always reply quickly, which means being really unprofessional on streams and in videos. But then, people leave me waiting, so I suppose I don't really see why I should be so eager to reply quickly. I shouldn't really be talking about this on a stream. How's everyone doing? Let's talk about that. How's everyone's plan for the weekend, things like that? Last week of the Premier League, football playoffs, Championship playoffs tonight. Fulham versus Derby. No idea what the score is. Someone feel free to keep me updated on that. I have a vested interest because of Mitrovic. League 1 and 2, I'm guessing, are over the next couple of days as well. Yes, Johnston. Good man. Yeah, Cities in Motion 2 has done well. Although I'll tell you, Josh, since you're the only one here at the moment, it has fallen short of my target. Not by much, but by some. So So I'm hoping episode 2 does better. Johnston with the nice little tap in there from the keeper parry. I've just heard my doorbell go as well, and I'm really hoping it's my brother who's ordered a takeaway, which is kind of annoying because I was hoping to get a pizza with him later, but screw it. Oh, that was going on target. Oh, McGregor. Normally they hoof it over the bar, but that was actually a foot to the left, and that was top corner. McConnor's injured. That's messed up the match plan, hasn't it? Right, Royal, you get your debut. Who's playing crap? Dinsmore playing awful. Clifton on for him. Everyone else I'll leave for now. I think we got the player ratings in the end pretty spot on. They're quite good for this league, and they're quite good for the league we started in, but I think 2 or 3 seasons time, maybe even starting from next season, some players will begin to be phased out. There's some very obvious candidates on the list as well. Premier League is on Sunday. Scores Derby 1, Fulham 0. The other Championship playoff is tomorrow, as is League 1, both League 2. Okay. See? This is why I like engaging with my audience, because they know things that I don't. Thank you, Josh. I lost interest in the playoffs when I realised none of my teams were to be involved in it. McGregor with the good corner there, headed out. Wilson tried to flick it back in. McGregor with another chance. First time volley. Over to Doyle. Into Royal. Drewson with the first time pass to Wilson. Oh, how's he missed that? You fool. Absolute fool. That was a golden opportunity as well. Alright, I'm going to make the last sub. Thompson on. Drewson off. And I'm going to encourage them. Come on, you useless bastards. That's how I encourage my team. I think this just goes to extra time. I don't think there's a replay at this stage. And it certainly looks like we're going to be going into that. Oof, nearly made a mistake. Yeah, when Newcastle drops into the Championship, I think that's what actually got me most interested in the Football League. Was the first time Newcastle dropped into the Championship, because that was the season. 09-10 was the season that Stevenage won promotion to the Football League for the first time, and Newcastle won promotion back to the Premier League at the first time of asking, and Chelsea, which is my mum's team, also won the Premier League that season. So all 3 of our teams won their leagues that year, and that was probably the personal highlight for football. But once Newcastle dropped into the Championship, I started watching more Championship games, particularly who were we against at the time for the title? Who were we pitted against for the title? Was it no, it wasn't Villa. They weren't in the Championship there. It might have been West Brom. It might have been us versus West Brom. That's when I realised just how entertaining the Championship was and how entertaining the Football League was. Because then once Newcastle got back into the Premier League and Stevenage got promoted into League 2, started seeing a lot more Football League action. And then obviously Stevenage went straight up into League 1. So I've seen football at all levels now. It wasn't Brighton the first time round though, was it? It was Brighton the second time. That was in, what, 16-17? I'm talking about 09-10. Alright, McConnor's got a gashed leg, 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, the Tigers match has been rearranged, that's fine. I was about to say we'll have to leave that till next episode, but I'm not making episodes, I'm streaming. I have made a lot of Journeyman episodes over the last 2 days, so I'm kind of still stuck in that mode as well. Yeah, the Football League is entertaining. I've said for years now that Football League is sometimes... Actually, I will go on record as saying the Football League is more entertaining than the Premier League. In terms of how many teams can actually win the title, how many teams could get relegated. You just look at the Championship this season. At one point, Fulham, Cardiff, Derby, Bristol City, and Villa, I think it was, could have all come second. And then slowly, I mean, some teams dropped away. Bristol City, for a very good example of that. But yeah, the fact that, I mean, Wolves even weren't favourites to win the league at the start of the season. And then you get teams like Sunderland who get relegated twice in a row. Same thing happened to Charlton, Bolton, Wigan. You know, the Championship is such a volatile league. Anyone can win it, anyone can drop out of it. That's entertainment. None of this SPL nonsense where Celtic win the league every season and it's just a case of who's going to finish second. How good are you, Mr. Murray? Not very. We sold 26 season tickets, which is what's that? A fourth increase, 25% increase from last season, roughly. A rough approximation. I can do maths, honest. I say I can do maths. One of the reasons I dropped out of my engineering degree was because I couldn't do math exams. I can still do maths, just not the exams. Right, there's a lot of dead time in this game because there's a lot of leagues that need to be loaded and matches that need to be simmed and players that need to be offered way more wages than they actually deserve, blah blah blah. There's a lot of stuff. So we got Frimley Green again, and then we got Cockfosters away. Stop laughing. Cockfosters is not a funny name. Who's Bower? No, Bower's not leaving. He's my rising star. In fact, where is Bower? Where's Bower? Has he dropped back into the... Am I just being intentionally dense here? He plays as a left winger. There he is. Yeah, I was being dense. Yeah, he's a good player actually. I really want him on the bench this season, but I don't want to drop Green. I'm going to drop Grant for that, and then do that, and then do that. Oh, McConnor needs to miss out that, and then that. And then that. How are we doing financially? Oof, bad. It probably wasn't a funny name when they first came up with it. Someone needs to look up the history of Cockfosters. It's a bit like Oxford. There's a reason behind its name. Oxford is a bit more obvious. It's a ford in the river that oxes used to use. Cambridge is another good example. So Cockfosters, something happened in Cockfosters back in whenever it was founded that made them name it after a male chicken. And an Australian beer. Something happened. See what I mean about dead time whilst it's loading. Alright, loads of players. Oh no, no loads of players made available. That's true, because it's the under 23s that they're made available for. I actually want to keep all the players that I promoted. I want to keep, although you can drop back down. Ming doesn't like tutoring because he doesn't want to admit that he's nearly 30. He's a Hollywood actor, as apparently. Sanchez Ming. Not with a name like that, he's not. McConnor ups to stay. Douglas Pringle should choose to stay as well, because he's a first team regular this season. It's going to be Doyle that drops out when Cartwright's back, which he very nearly is. What was he recovering from? Let's say concussion. Where is it? He was out for like 4 weeks with concussion. Are you kidding me? That's a joke. I'm going to sign a new centre-back. Not for that reason, but... So this is my problem. I go into this list and just look at the crap that gets brought up. Any better players who are unattached? Yeah, maybe. I suppose it's also because we haven't had the chance to really scout many players. There could be loads of great players here and we just don't know it yet. Something I've done on all my series is... Oh, you are handling scout meetings. Cool. Well, there you go then. Right. I think the match plan's still the same. Message is being held for review. Oh! Twitch just said... That's the downside to automation when it comes to censoring messages. It asked me to approve your message because cock was an isolated word. I've seen that before. Like, I remember once someone told me something about cocktails and it put asterisk, 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 tails. Like cocktails is a banned word suddenly. You'd think by now, 2018, a computer would be smart enough to distinguish between a genuine swear word and just a word that happens to contain the same letters in the same sequence that a swear word might do. Yeah, Cock Forrester. So it's a bit of a bastardisation of a name. Cock Forrester became Cock Foster. That's, yeah, fair enough. I can see that happening. Come on, team. Looking a bit lackluster at the moment. First 2 competitive games. We've had a very busy pre-season, which I haven't shown you actually. I think we got our asses handed to us pretty much every game. Let's try and make money. We didn't make enough money. I might need to see about getting a parent club. For financial reasons. Whether the board will let me, of course. They're very... You would think a board would be pleased to get a parent club. Because especially if they get the additional income from it. But actually, you really have to fight them a lot of the time. Oh, McGregor. Poor ball.